Semua sihat ke? Ada bagus ke?
Baik.
Okey. Okey, boleh key in attendance. Saya bagi link untuk attendance dekat dalam bahagian chat tu. Okey, baru 43 orang, kita ada berapa? Ada 14 orang lagi ni, tak masuk lagi ni. Okey, key in attendance Saya letak dalam chat tu. Susah pula letak dalam chat ni. Nanti orang baru masuk tak dapat tengok kan. Nah, key in attendance dekat WhatsApp pun saya ada bagi tu. Kita teruslah mulakan Okay, saya show entire screen, share. Semua boleh nampak PowerPoint slide tu? Nampak Nampak? Tak nampak? Nampak? Tak nampak? Nampak. Bagus. Okay. Now we have finished our discussion on chapter 6. So we move on to chapter 7, which the title is Electric Current and Resistance. Okay. Just in case if you try to find my name from the Google, you might find my profile in the Google Scholar. And you could see the publications that I have published in the recent years. So majority my work is mainly on the density functional theory calculations or theoretical calculations. So it has some relation with this chapter, inclusive of the interactions between the electron, proton, and electron and neutron, so on and so forth. So these are the topics for the chapter 7. We have 7 subtopics, from Coulomb's law to power and energy in electrical circuit. So the main motivation for this chapter is to see the interactions between the subatomic particles, meaning that between the ions, between the electrons and also the protons. Before we move on to discuss with the electric or the current or the voltage and also the resistance in a material itself. Now let us see the first chapter, which is the Coulomb's law. Okay, the Coulomb's law. So basically you have done this experiment before during your primary or secondary school. If you bring two same charges close enough, they will repel each other. If we try to move electron with electrons, for example, if we have these two electrons over here, okay, electrons, if we move them close to each other, they will repel each other because they have same value of charges. They are both negative. Same goes for the proton. They are both positively charged. If we bring them together, they will repel each other. And if the charges are unlikely, they will attract each other, positive and negative charges. Electron and proton, they will attract each other. And the repulsive and attractive force is known as electrostatic force. Okay, the repulsive or the attractive force, they are known as electrostatic force, meaning that the charge are not moving initially. And we could define them using the Coulomb's law. This is the first subchapter, the Coulomb's law. So the Coulomb's law states that the magnitude of the electrostatic force, whether it is attractive or repulsive, between 2-point electric charges. 2-point electric charges meaning that the charges, the positive or negative charges, are not bound to any atom. Okay, they are free charges. Okay, they are not bound to any atom or any molecule. So the magnitude of the repulsive or the attractive force between 2-point electric charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of each charge and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the charges. Meaning that, just look at the formula, F equals to K times Q1 times Q2 divided by R square. And Q1 and Q2, you need to make sure that we have modulus over there. Remember to put modulus, whether it is negative charge or positive charge, always be positive because we have modulus in the equation. So F equals to K. K is Coulomb's constant. It is constant. You could find in your calculator, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see my calculator first. Calculator. Okay. Oh my. Constant. Which one? Oh, no. K is not available in the calculator. The only thing that available in the constant is the epsilon naught. The permittivity of free space, if you look at your calculator, it is constant number 32. Hit the button constant and click 32, you will get the value for permittivity of free space. It is 8.85 times 10 to the power of negative 12 coulomb square over Newton meter square. We have permittivity of free space. But if you cannot memorize the Coulomb constant, just use the formula K equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, and epsilon naught you could find from your calculator. Right? So I think you could memorize the Coulomb constant. 9 times 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square divided by Coulomb square. Right. Okay, the electrostatic force could be repulsive or attractive, and the charge for one electron is 1.602 times 10 to the power of negative 19 coulomb, and charge for one proton is similar, but the value is positive. I have to click admit one by one because I have opened the PowerPoint slide from my laptop, so it cannot be automatically admitted. Okay, that is Coulomb's law. First equation, F equals to K Q1 Q2 over R square. R is the distance between the Q1 and Q2, between the two charges. Now, the forces on each charge from every other charge can be calculated and then added as vectors. Force is a vector quantity, so we need to add them using the vector principle. So remember, vector principle, we have learned this in chapter 2 or 3. Okay, so how do we write the forces, the Coulomb's law? Okay, for example, look at figure number 1 over here. Figure A, we have charge 1. This is charge 1, value is positive. This is charge 2, value is positive. So they will repel each other. How about the force? The repulsion force at charge number 1. So we could write F is the force experienced by charge 1 due to charge 2. This is F12. Okay, because charge number 1 will be, it will not be attracted, but it will be, the repulsion force could be experienced by charge number 1. So it will go to the left. Because charge 2 is, apa menolak? What is the word?
Repel.
Repel. Charge 2 will repel charge 1 to the left. And how about charge 2? Charge 2 will be repelled by charge 1 to the right. And the way we write it is like this. F, repulsion force experienced by charge 2 due to charge number 1. This is F12, this is F21. B, both charges are negative. Similar case, they will repel each other. This is F12 and the other one is F21. How about C? Both charges, they have different symbol. Okay, charge 1 is positive, charge 2 is negative. They will attract each other, and therefore this positive charge will be attracted to the right. It will be attracted to the charge number 2. So the way of writing it is F of charge 1, F experienced by charge 1 due to charge 2. And this one, the force, the attractive force experienced by charge 2 due to charge number 1. So this is how we determine the direction of the electrostatic force. We should determine it by looking at the value of the charges. If they have positive symbol, they will repel each other, and we need to look which way they are repelling. Right? So let's say example 1. The electron and proton of a hydrogen atom. By the way, ada kelas tak pukul 2 ni?
Ada.
Pukul 2 ada? Okay, saya cepatkan. The electron and proton of a hydrogen atom are separated by a distance of approximately 5.3 times 10 to the power of negative 11 meter. Find the magnitudes of the electric force between the two particles. Straightforward. Okay, we have what? We have distance, 5.3 times 10 to the power negative 11 meter. And we have electron and proton. Just like that. So the charge of electron is 1.6 times 10 to the power negative 19 coulomb. Okay, we have modulus, so it will become positive. How about charge of proton? Similar but positive. Then we have modulus, then it becomes positive. So our formula, our K is about 8.9875. Just now, if you can't remember the exact number of K, you could use 9. So if you could memorize, please memorize K value is 8.9875 times 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square over Coulomb square. If you can't remember, you put 9 times 10 to the power of 9 also, I could accept. But if possible, please memorize it. Okay. So K times the magnitude of Q1 times the magnitude of Q2 divided by the distance between QR and by Q1 and Q2. Therefore, we got straightforward. The answer is 8.1840 times 10 to the power of 98 Newton. This is the electrostatic force. How about the... Okay. This is exercise 1. Well, exercise 1, I'm not sure if you want to do it now or how about this? Do exercise number 1 at your own time. And I have provided the solution in the videos which I have submitted to you in the WhatsApp group yesterday. How about that? Agree? Do we have an accord? Cik, wah, baik sangat tengok cerita Pirates of Caribbean. Boleh ke tak? Ke macam mana? Nak buat sekarang ke? Nak buat pada waktu senggang masing-masing ke? Atau macam mana? Solution saya dah bagi. Solution saya bagi dekat dalam video-video yang saya post malam. Ada 12 video. Semua video tu adalah solution kepada exercise. Macam mana? Dengar tak?
Hello? Dengar tak saya?
Hello? Dengar tak?
Dengar doktor.
Saya nak tanya. Saya cuba buat exercise 1 ni. Tapi jawapan macam lain sikit.
Apakah jawapannya?
Saya dapat 7.164.77 tapi darab 10 kuasa 6.
Wah, wih. Okay. Micro dengan milli-coulomb dah tengok?
Dah, saya dah convert dulu.
CM pun dah tengok lah?
Dah, 0.28.
Okay. Apa bezanya dengan saya punya calculation ya?
Bila saya buat 8.9875 darab 10 kuasa 9 darab dengan 25 microcoulomb darab dengan 2500 microcoulomb.
2500 microcoulomb?
Sebab milli ni saya convert dulu pada micro.
Okay.
And then divide by 0.28 meter squared. And then selepas tu saya dapat jawapan 7.164779974 darab 10 kuasa 15.
Wow.
And then saya execute micro tu. Saya hilangkan micro tu. So saya darab dengan 10 kuasa negatif 6. And then 10 kuasa negatif 6 and then dapat 7.164.77974 darab 10 kuasa 6. Itu je.
Okay. Ni siapa yang cakap tak pecam suara ni? Mahal lah.
Ya.
Yang lain ada cuba tak? Alamak, kantoi tengok Paw Patrol. Anak saya lah ni. Yang Korea-Korea tu anak saya yang perempuan. Saya cuba tengok my playlist. Saya tak buka suara ni. Nanti dia bercampur aduk. Tengok je pengiraan. Ada tak kawan-kawan lain yang ada buat juga? Okey, kita tengok Ini F12. Okey, kita nak kira F12 lah. Okey, ni 0.28 clear, yang ni 25 microcoulomb, yang ni 2.5 millicoulomb. 2.5 adalah 2.5 kali 10 kuasa negatif 3 coulomb. Okey, betul yang ni? Tengok pula yang ni. K adalah 8.9875 kali 10 kuasa 9 Newton meter square over coulomb square. Q1 adalah 2.5 kali 10 kuasa negatif 3. Q2 adalah 25 kali 10 kuasa negatif 6. Betul setakat ni. R adalah 0.28 kuasa 2. Jadi ya, kita cuba tekan balik. Saya tekan balik. 8.9875 10 kuasa 9 darab 2.5 eksponen negatif 3 darab 25 eksponen negatif 6. Okey, dia punya jawapan lah 561.718 atau 722 pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Kemudian 0.28 kali 0.28 kita dapat perbawah dia 0.0784. Betul? 561.722 bagi 0.0784 dapat jawapan 7164.82. Ada siapa-siapa dapat jawapan macam saya atau jawapan lain? Ada tak yang dapat jawapan macam Mail punya? Cuba convertkan siap-siap dulu Mail. Mili dengan micro tu awal-awal. Sebelum pengiraan.
Dah, saya dah convert. Saya convert mili tu kepada micro.
Tak. Kepada tanpa mili, tanpa micro. Maksudnya contoh ni, micro ni saya terus convert kepada negatif 6 kat sini.
Alright,
mili kat sini saya convert terus kepada negatif 3 kat sini. Okay. Cuba dulu. Sambil-sambil tu kita tengok. Begitu. Ya. Okay, sambil-sambil Mail mengira tu kita tengok example tu pula. Okay, the three charged particles are arranged in the line as shown in the figure. We have Q1, Q2, Q3. The charges are negative, positive, and negative respectively. Calculate the net electrostatic force on particle 3. Which one is particle 3? The negative 4 microcoulomb on the right, due to the other two charges. How do we analyze this one? Q3. We have charge Q3. We need to look one by one. Okay, for example, we consider the nearest charge first, Q2. Forget about Q1. Just close Q1 for a while. Focus at Q2 and Q3. So, if we look at Q2 and Q3, Q3 will be attracted to Q2. So, we have one force over there, which is F32. F32 is an attractive force to the left. This is F32. One force, okay? So we have one F32 to the left. Now, close Q2. Forget about Q2, focus on Q1 and Q3. Both are negative charges, and Q3 will be repelled to the right. So we have one force, which is F3 to the right. F3 is the force experienced by charge 3 due to charge 1. This is F31. So we have F32 to the left and F31 to the right. So draw the forces on charge 3. So we have F31 to the right, we have F32 to the left. So the net electrostatic force on particle 3 is F3. F3 equals to F31 plus F32. Okay. So we need to determine F31 and F32. F31 is KQ3. Just follow the numbering. F31, meaning that the charges involved are Q3 and Q1. So K times Q3 times Q1 divided by R31. R31 means the distance between charge 1 and charge 3. What are they? Charge 1 and charge 3. The distance is 0.5 meter. Apa ni? 0.5 0.2 square. This is 0.5 square. So this is K. This is charge Q3. Remember, we have modulus, therefore it become positive. This is such charge Q1. Okay, convert them. Micro, it's time 10 to the power of -6. Don't forget about the micro. Convert them. Okay. This is also times 10 to the power of -6 coulomb. And finally, if you calculate correctly, you will get 1.15 Newton. Direction to the right, positive. F31 to the right, become positive. Now, how about F32? F32, remember, it is going to be, the direction is to the left. So F32, our F32 will become negative. Now, similarly, F32 equals to KQ3, Q2 divided by R32 square. R32 is the distance between charge 3 and charge 2. Charge 3 and charge 2, the distance is 0.2 meter. Kat sini kan? Masukkan nilai. Jangan lupa modulus. We have modulus. Don't forget about the modulus. So all of the charges become positive. And if you hit the calculator correctly, you will get 2.7 Newton. How about direction? Do not forget about the direction. Even though your calculation gives you positive value, always look at the figure again. Oh, F32 is to the left. Automatically, you write direction to the left and becomes negative. So this is important because F3, the formula for F3 is F31 plus F32. F31 to the right, positive. F32 is to the left, negative. Therefore, you will get the answer is negative 1.5 Newton, and the direction of the total force experienced by the charge 3 is 1.5 Newton to the left. Kita cuma ada gambar tadi kan. Kita tahu F31 ke arah kanan, F32 ke arah kiri. Kalau charge Q3 ni tarik kanan dan tarik kiri dengan magnitude 1.15 Newton ke arah kanan dan magnitude 2.7 Newton ke arah kiri, yang ni 1.5 Newton ke arah kanan, yang ni 2.7 Newton ke arah kiri, makanya charge Q3 secara vektornya telah dikira dia akan tertarik ke arah kiri sebanyak 1.15 Newton. Yang ini 1.15 Newton ke arah kiri. Ni. Right? It's a vector addition. This is still easy because they are on the exactly same axis. They are the F31 and F32, they are lying and exactly on the x-axis. Masalah lain adalah kalau satu berada dekat y-axis, satu berada pada x-axis, ataupun satu berada dekat tengah-tengah. Dia ada komponen x dan y. Macam biasalah kita kena vector resolution. Now example 2, still simple. Calculate the net, example 3. Calculate the net force on particle 2. We have similar setup. Now we need to calculate the net force on particle 2. This one is particle 2. How do we calculate it? Analyze first. Forget about Q1. Look at Q2 and Q3. Q2 will be attracted to the right. So this is F23. F23 to the right. How about Q1, Q2? Q2 will be attracted to the charge Q1 to the left. So we have F21 to the left. We have F23 to the right, and we have F21 to the left. Just like this one. See, draw the free body diagram for charge which is in focus. Our focus is charge Q2. So draw the free body diagram. We have F23 to the right, F21 to the left. So the net force is F2. F2 equals to F21 plus F23. Calculate one by one. Calculate F21 first. KQ2 Q1 over R21 square. This is very simple. You need to calculate and you get 2.4. Refer to the diagram again. F21, direction is left. Remember, this one will be negative. Okay. Now move to F23's calculation. F23, KQ2 Q3 over R23 square. Masukkan. So you get the value 2.696 Newton. Direction, refer to the diagram again. F23, okay, to the right. The value is positive. And therefore, F2 is F21 plus F23. Remember, our F21 is negative. Do not forget about that. And total, we got 0.296 Newton. It's positive. Direction is to the right. So therefore, in this case, charge Q2 will be attracted to the right. Okay, with the value of with the magnitude of 0.296 Newton. Example number 4. Similar setup. We need to find the calculation of net force on Q1 first. Why am I supplying you with these examples? What is the motivation behind it? So, have you ever watched Iron Man? Siapa tak pernah tengok, angkat kening. Okay, saya nampak Mael tak pernah tengok, Guna tak pernah tengok, Pedot tak pernah tengok. Jangan tipu, Pisang pun tak pernah tengok tu kan. Saya tahu antara kamu ada nickname Pisang. Baik mengaku. Siapa nickname Pisang? Cakap. Tak ada orang mengaku je. Tak apa. Alright. Pernah tengok Iron Man tak? Mesti pernah tengok kan? Majority pernah tengok kan? Okay. What is the problem for the Iron Man arc reactor design? The first design of the arc reactor. Siapa boleh jawab? Device structure flaw kan? Dia akan memberi apa? Byproduct yang harmful byproduct to the body of the Iron Man. So, Tony Stark need to invent the new type of arc reactor using new type of material. Betul kan? Macam mana dia buat? How did he manage to fabricate or synthesize the new material? Does he jump into the laboratory and start to fabricate or synthesize new material? No. What he did was he simulate first. He simulate, so because he doesn't have any idea which material is suitable to make the arc reactor. It turns out to be, from the simulation, it shows that the material is not exist yet, but he need to what? He need to create a new atom. How did he create it? He used some special technique, and I don't know what the technique was, but the important thing is the simulation. How can he manage to execute the simulation? It looks simple. He just call one atom over here, call atom over there, and start to simulate the whole thing. The physics behind the simulation is that the interactions between the subatomic particle, millions, billions, trillions of subatomic particles need to be calculated. The interactions, for example, the electrostatic force. This is just the beginning. Electrostatic force. We have the kinetic energy of the particles. We need to calculate. That one is different chapter. The chapter that we have discussed in work, energy, and power. What else? Potential energy between the subatomic particle also need to be calculated. And this one, in this special topic. So who says that the Hollywood movie, there is not even a single science inside the Hollywood movie? No, they actually based on some, at certain level, they include some salient science inside the movie. And one of it is the simulation part, which known in our scientific world, density functional theory. And that is one of my specialty, density functional theory. We need to calculate the interactions between the subatomic particle in order to simulate the real case of any device structure before we move to the lab and try to fabricate that device. Or else we will waste our chemical and our time and our effort buying all those chemical, try to make a device, and finally the device won't work and we don't know why it doesn't work. So using the simulation, we could predict whether the device could be work efficiently or not by the basic principle is the calculations of the interactions between the subatomic particles. This is the basic. How the computer calculate it? We just give the command line to the computer. The computer will do the calculations automatically. Then we need to redesign all the components and assemble in the device. So this is the motivation, my motivation, just to share with you. Now, previously we have calculated the net force on charge Q3, charge Q2, and don't forget we also need to calculate if the question asks you. You need to calculate the charge Q1. Why? Because maybe you are in the middle of simulating something. So we need to calculate the interaction between all the particles available. Now, how do we calculate the net force on particle 1? Similar. Okay. If the question asks you about particle 1, so focus on particle 1. You could see that on particle 1, we have two interactions. One, it is attracted to the charge number 2 over here to the right. And another one, it is repelled by charge number 3, going to the left over here. Don't forget about this free body diagram. Make sure you know how to draw this free body diagram. It depends on the question, which charge you should focus on. So F1 is F12 plus F13. How to calculate? This is easy, straightforward. Usually the formula will be given, but you need to determine which charge you should use. Okay. And finally, you got positive 2.4 Newton. Check again in the drawing. F12, yes, to the right, it is positive. And now we need to calculate F13. It is going to the left, should be negative. Don't forget about that. So you have this formula, plug in, make sure you plug in correctly. Yeah. One thing is that the students tends to calculate, to include the wrong one, the value of the wrong charge inside the formula. Make sure you double check which charge should be included in the calculations. So you will get 1.15. Direction to the left, it is negative. And therefore, F1 equals to F12 plus F13. F13 is negative, you will get 1.25 Newton. Direction to the right. It is attractive force to the right. Now, this is exercise number 2. Nak tunjuk ke tidak? Nak tunjuk ke tidak? Kita tengok sekejap lah. Alah, slow lah pula. Semua dah key in attendance ya. Tunjuklah exercise number 2 sikit. Exercise number 2. Okay. Saya tak akan play video ni. Saya akan skip ke depan. Tunjukkan the whole calculation saja. Okay, nak tengok video, kamu boleh tengok dekat hostel nanti ya. Okay, 2 charges. Q1. Okay, negative 8 microcoulomb. Q2, positive 12 microcoulomb. They are 12 cm apart in the air ataupun 0.12 meter. What is the resultant force on the third charge Q3 equals to negative 4 microcoulomb placed midway in between the 2 charges? Midway maksudnya the 6 cm daripada Q1 dan 6 cm daripada Q3. So the resultant force on the third charge, we need to find F3 due to charge Q2, which is F32, and also F3 due to charge 1, F31. Both directions are to the right. Kenapa? Q3 negative. Interactions of the negative charge with positive charge will be attractive force. So F32 will be to the right. How about F31? This is negative charge. Q1 is negative charge. Q3 negative charge. It is repulsive force. So F31 is to the right. This one. So now we have the formula F3 equals to F31 plus F32. Calculate F31 first. Calculate F31, dapat nilai. Look at the diagram again. F31 is to the right. It's positive. How about F32? Calculate, make sure everything is correct in position. You'll get 1.1983 Newton. Look at the diagram again. F32 ke mana? To the right, positive. And therefore, F3 equals to F31 plus F32, all positive. We got 1.997 Newton. As easy as that. Right. Yang ni lain sikit. Because why? Because the forces are not even at the same axis. Yang tadi semua dekat paksi. Emilia baru masuk. Emilia baru masuk ya. Okay, catch up sikit ya. How gay I sound. Example 5. Calculate the net electrostatic force on charge Q3 shown in the figure due to the charges Q1 and Q2. Emilia dah tertinggal tau. Kalau blank tu, tengoklah video nanti Right. So, focus on charge Q3. Charge Q3. Okay. Consider charge Q3 and charge Q1. Q3 is positive. Q1 is negative. Of course, Q3 will be attracted to charge Q1. So the attractive force will be F31. We label as attraction force experienced by charge 3 due to charge 1. So F31. Lagi apa? charge Q2 and Q3. Q3 is positive, Q2 is positive. There is a repulsive force going to be that way, F32. So we have two forces acting, two electrostatic forces acting on the charge 3, F32, F31. They are not even at the same plane. So what we need to do is that we need to resolve the one that is not exactly on the X or Y axis plane. Okay, resolve F31 into F31X and F31Y. And this is 60 degrees, agree? 60, because we have 90 degree over here, and it is given 60 degree over here. Therefore, this one is 60. So, using this diagram, we could replicate. Okay, see how I make a triangle again. This is how I make the triangle. And this is the triangle. So, we have F31 over here, F31X here, and F31Y over here, and we have 60. And therefore, to find F31Y, we could use F31 cos 60. Tak percaya? Cuba tengok. Cos 60 dapat apa? Cos 60 adalah sebelahan per hypotenuse. Bersebelahan adalah F31Y. Hypotenuse adalah F31. We manipulate that equation. Therefore, we could get F31Y. Use this formula. F31 cos 60 degrees. Kalau ada soalan, hentikan saya. Kita bincang sekejap. Ya? Kalau ada soalan. Automatically, if we use this formula for the F31Y, so the F31X, we use F31 sin 60. Automatically, we exchange cos with sine. Tengok balik. So F31, we need to calculate. Before we able to calculate F31Y or F31X, we need to calculate the F31 first, the basic one. So F31 is a direct interaction between the Q3 and Q1. Use the similar formula. F31 equals to K times Q3 times Q1 divided by R31 square. So you will get 140 Newton. Make sure this microcoulomb, you transform it into times 10 to the power of negative 6. Do not forget about that. And F32, this is 3, this is 2, F32. Okay, this one. Directly using the formula. This is Q3, this is Q2, this is the distance between the Q2 and Q3. 0.3 meter. You will get 3 to 4.6 Newton. Ke mana? Ke arah atas, positif. F31 ke arah mana? Tak tahu lagi. Sebab ini ke arah apa? Ke arah kanan? Tak. Ke arah bawah? Macam bawah juga. Jangan berbual apa-apa lagi ke sini. Dekat F31. Because we need to resolve it into X and Y component first. Then we determine whether it is positive or negative. So F32 is no longer need to be determined whether it has X component or Y component, because F32 is exactly on the Y axis. It is 100% in Y component. How about the X component for F32? No, 0. It's null. No Y component for F32. Only F31 has X and Y component, and we need to resolve it. So make a table. If you comfortable to use table, please use it. So we have force F31 and F32. F32, no X component, exactly, okay, F32 exactly on the Y axis, no X component, it's 0. It only has 3 to 4.6 Newton, upward, positive. How about F31? F31, we have X and Y component. So the Y component, F31Y is downward. The direction is downward, it become negative. Sini. Sebelum kira lagi kita dah tahu, dia negatif. Letak awal, downward, negatif. Supaya tak terlupa. F31X is to the right. It's positive. Rightward. Ataupun positif. Tulis tu. Kemudian barulah kira. F31Y, we use F31 cos theta. F31Y equals to F31 cos theta. Nak letak negatif siap-siap pun boleh. Tak ada masalah. Sebab kita dah tahu dia mengalir ke arah bawah. Letak negatif siap-siap pun boleh. Tak ada isu. Tak nak letak negatif siap-siap pun tak apa. Kira dulu dapat jawapan positif. Tapi kat bawah sini tulis the direction is going to be downward. And tulis balik it's negative 70 Newton. Pun saya terima asalkan dia menyatakan arah dia ke mana. Okay, so we got negative 70 Newton for F31Y. F31X, kalau F31Y kita guna cos, F31X automatically we use the sine formula. Okay, 140 Newton times sine 60, we got 1 to 1.24 Newton, right? So therefore, we need to sum up all the X component and Y component. So the X component will be 1 to 1.24 plus 0. Mana jawapan dia? Asal saya tulis 120? Salah. Salah jawapan saya ni. It's not 120. 121.24 lah kan. Ini tambah ni. Saya betulkan dulu. Apa saya tulis 120 ni? 121.24. Baru dah betul. Save dulu. Save dulu. Ayak. Nyesal save. No responding lah pula. Okay. Kemudian 324.6 tolak 70. 324.6 tolak 70. 255.6. Salah tulis lagi. 255.6 kat sini. Begitulah jawapannya. Okey, dah dapat dah. Adakah ini jawapan akhir? Tak habis lagi. Ini baru resultant force on x and y axis. We need to find the resultant force. Use the same formula. Ni nombor ni salah, nanti saya betulkan. So the formula is square root of f3x square plus f3y square equals to 121 tadi kat sini square plus 255.6 square. Dapatlah jawapan, bukan 281. Betulkanlah nanti betulkan, saya betulkan sekarang lah kot. 121.24 121.24, yang ni 255.6. 255.6 betul tak? 255.6. Berapa dapat jawapan? Siapa boleh tolong kira? 121.24 1469.1376 255.6 65331.36 tambah 146 99 point square root, kita dapat 282.89.90 ni, 0.9. Yes. Kemudian yang ini, itulah kita punya jawapan. Direction kena tahu juga. Direction mana? Ni 255.6 121.24. So we have the formula for tangent. Okay, the direction, we could determine the direction using the tangent theta. Tangent theta is equals to the modulus of y component, resultant of y component, divided by the modulus of the x component. So we have calculated the x and y component of the resultant. Okay, masukkan saja 255.6 bagi 121.24 2.11 arc tangent 2.11 terdapat 64.64 64.64 darjah. Okay, and finally yang mana? Kat mana 64.64 darjah ni? Lukis balik. Kita ada calculated value kan, f3x dah kira, f3 121.24, this is 255.6, yang ni 282.9. Lagi seminit saya hentikan. Okay, kita dah kira ni. Yang manakah mereka? Ini adalah F3X kita, 121.24. Ini F3Y kita, 255.6. Okay, lukiskan rajah berikut. Inilah 282.9 kita dah kira. Ini dia, 282.9. This is how we construct the diagram. So, the angle, this one, 64.76. Daripada mana kita dapat ni? Daripada rumus tangent theta sama dengan opposite per bersebelahan. Tangent theta mestilah opposite per bersebelahan. Opposite ni adalah F3Y. Bersebelahan adalah F3X. Tengok balik rumus. Betul tak? Betul. Tangent theta mestilah Y over X. Kalau ini theta kita, adakah ia betul ini theta? Ke yang ni theta? Kalau kita pilih theta yang ni, dia mestilah bertentangan bersebelahan. Saya salah sebut tadi. Tentang bersebelahan. Jadi Fy bagi dengan Fx. Maka inilah theta kita. Itu saja pada hari ini. Kita sambung pada Rabu. Okay, minta maaf termasuk lambat tadi sebabnya masuk meeting peringkat universiti dengan TNCA. Alright, kalau ada soalan kita boleh bincang dalam kita punya WhatsApp group. Okay, and we continue lesson on Wednesday. So before that, any question, any simple question? So if you have any question, you could always ask in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Slide dekat kalam tak sama. Yes, tak sama. Jangan pakai slide dekat kalam. Saya tak suka. Yang tu bukan slide saya dan a bit complicated. Okay. Saya dah modify slide tu. Saya dah bagi dekat WhatsApp group dah semalam. Slide ni semua ni. Okay. Alright. Kalau ada soalan, kita discuss kat WhatsApp group. Okay. Selesai. Itu saja. Class dismissed. Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor.
Right. Now I have to click the I have to
Okay,
stop
Doctor.
record.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.